think I found my campsite for the week. It's a little close to the road. You can see it, the road behind me. But what a gorgeous place. Let's take a look around. So we've got a fire pit and the starting of some firewood. I'm right next to the river. This might get loud, so hopefully it's not too bad. It's not an ideal campsite, but I think it'll work. I was really surprised to see as many people down here during the week. So I think I'm gonna have to put my tent right over there. I think this is the only real flat spot I can find that's big enough to put the tent. Put the tent right here. I'll have the rest of the camp set up over there. We've got access to the water. Might be some fish in there. We're gonna try it. You'll get to see me make a fool out of myself fishing, because I don't know jack about fishing. I don't know anything about it. I'll throw a hook in there and see what happens. All right, let's get this camp set up. Well, welcome to camp, everyone. Hopefully the noise isn't too bad from the river down there. This is the tent. This is the Redverz Solo Expedition tent. Let's take a quick walk around this side. I've got it open to let air flow all the way through. And I'll show you in a second. Let's go inside and take a look. The reason I bought this tent was for this big vestibule. It's just gigantic. So I've got some place to go and hang out if I want to get out of the elements, anything like that. And this area isn't bug-proof. It's got mosquito netting here. This door has mosquito netting on it, and I could close that up. But if you look around the bottom, they can just come in. There's nothing stopping them from coming in. And this I just got set up as an awning so I can walk in and out that haven't unzip everything. Here's the sleeping bay. This is a one-man tent. My sleeping mat is 30 inches wide. So you can see I've still got another 1.5 feet or so on the other side of that. And I'll post up the specs to the tent on the screen so you guys can see that. But I've got all my gear, everything in there. And that was the main thing, was I needed some place to put all of my gear when I go camping, because I've been using a Big Agnes copper spur one-man tent, which I love. It's a great backpacking tent and even a moto camping tent, but it's just too small for all my gear. Once I get to camp and undress and everything, there's just nowhere to put it. So I got this one to hold all that stuff. And you can see, look at all the bugs in here already. It's just full of gnats. And I didn't bring any insect repellent. I didn't even think about that until I was almost here. There's a store about 10 miles from here. I might have to go check that out. But let's head down to the river. Let's do some fishing. I haven't been fishing since I was a little kid. Maybe we'll catch some dinner. Who knows? I probably won't catch anything because I'm obviously a terrible fisherman because I have no experience. Except for ocean fishing. I've done ocean fishing and spear fishing. but it's actually illegal to spearfish here. You can't do that. I can't go cut down a stick and sharpen it and get in there and get what I want. It's illegal. So I have to buy a fishing pole and licenses and all that. In fact, look at this little fishing pole. Look at that bad boy. So I went to Walmart, was in like the little kids section trying to find a fishing pole small enough to carry on the bike. Found that one. I don't think that's a little kid's one though. I think it's actually a adult's collapsible fishing rod. So we'll throw it in down there and see what happens. Let's have some fun. Alright, so I've been bopping around the countryside, just walking up and down the creek. Using my little Walmart kids fishing pole. And I caught a monster. Check this out. Look at that bad boy. Whoa, nope, go nowhere. Yeah, there's dinner, baby. That's a beast. The minimum limit or minimum length is 7 inches. This one's 8, so I think that's as big as they get is 8, so that's a monster around here. I didn't get one of them little baby 7-inch ones. I got one of the big 8-inch ones. So we'll fry him up later. Tell you what, I really like this vestibule area. This is a good place for me to get out of the sun. It's warming up out there, and just being able to come in here. I've got all the doors open except for this one behind me. This door here is like the awning door out front. There's one on each side. So I've got the big door open. I've got the little door on the other end. There's like a hobbit hole door that goes out the sleeping compartment. So I've got air passing through. It feels good. I got some of these Columbia zip-off pants that zip the legs off of and they become shorts. They dry really well. Birkenstocks aren't good for crawling around on rocky, mossy covered rocks. Vans work much better. I had to change shoes. My socks and stuff are out there drying off, but the pants dried really fast. I'm pretty pleased with those. So I'm just going to chill for a little bit and enjoy the sounds and the scenery. Guess we'll see if Uncle Voodoo can still skip a rock. Oh yeah, all the way to those rocks. Morning, everybody. Welcome to day 2 of my camping trip. Unfortunately, I made a bonehead mistake, and day 1 is not watchable on video. I've been buying new camera equipment, and this is like the first real big run of bringing everything out. And I made a stupid mistake. The cable that connects the microphone, the wireless mic that I'm using right now, to the camera is not interchangeable with my boom mic. There's a different cable. The cables they're not compatible. I can't swap cables back and forth. And I didn't know that. And so yesterday I filmed all day with the boom microphone on using this cable, and it recorded no audio. There's nothing. I was so upset. So I didn't know until last night when I decided to transfer some video from the SD cards to my phone just to store it and give me more room on the SD cards. And then I seen that I didn't have any audio. The 360 audio came out okay, but nothing from this camera. None of my dialogue came out. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to try to salvage this. But it is 6:45 in the morning. The sun isn't quite up yet. A little breezy this morning. Got down to about 40 degrees last night. The new tent is working great, and when the sun comes up a little more, we're going to take a tour of this thing again, since I already filmed it and I have to do it again now. Yeah, yesterday was a good day. I went fishing for the first time. I went fishing as a kid a couple of times, but as an adult, I just don't own fishing equipment. I don't go fishing. I did some trawling off the boats in the Army, and but the equipment was already there. It wasn't mine, So I've never really had fishing equipment. So I went to Walmart. So I had to buy some things, and while I was in there, I found this little collapsible fishing pole, and I bought 2 lures. I was like, okay, I'll try that. Try my hand at trout fishing in this river I'm next to. And on the second cast, I hit a trout. Reeled him in. I'm like, oh yeah. I'm holding him up, looking, all right. Then he dropped into the water. I noticed that my lure was gone too. So I was just standing there holding string. No fish, no lure. Apparently my knot wasn't good enough. I watched some YouTube videos on how to tie fishing knots, and apparently that wasn't that good. So I ended up tying a super strong ghetto granny knot on my only remaining lure. Went back out, and I did catch a trout. It wasn't a huge one. 7 inches is the smallest you can keep. A dollar bill is 6 inches, if that helps. So 1 inch bigger than a dollar bill is the smallest one you can have. I caught one that was 8 inches long. Monster. I mean, it was like that. I don't have the audio, but you'll see the video. I'll crop it in here. You'll see me hold it up. I was so proud of my little fish. First trout I ever caught. First time going out fishing with the intent of I need to catch this thing for dinner. And I did. I cooked him up for dinner last night, and it was pretty good. So I might invest in some better equipment. So like I said, I'm using some little kid stuff from Walmart. Because I just needed something small to pack on the bike. So I'll have to do some investigating into micro fishing rods. But I'm going to finish my coffee here, and I might make some more. Let the sun and the temperature come up, and we'll get up and at them and see what we can do today to salvage this video. So, see you in a minute. Well, the sun is starting to come up a little bit. I'm down in a canyon. It's not really a canyon, it's a valley, or a draw is what they would really call this. But it gives you the feel of being in a canyon. I've got steep mountain wall on that side, steep mountain wall on this side, river running right next to me. This is the campsite. You guys didn't get to see it set up and everything, or get the tour, because the video came out with no audio, just me pantomiming. So we'll do it again. I'm a little bit close to this road. That's Alhambra Road right there. I'm a little bit close to that for my liking, but surprisingly, I came out here on a weekday, and there's a lot of people camping out here. This was the first open spot I could find. So this is what I got. And all that, you guys got talked through all that, but the on top of the audio issue, the helmet cam, the file was corrupted, and so it was completely unusable. So we didn't get no riding footage. We're going to go for a ride today. We'll take a tour of the road, look at all the campsites and places to see. Drink my coffee here, and we'll go through the tent. I'll give you guys a look at my surroundings. Well, this is right outside my tent. I get up in the morning, come out to this. You guys are right next to another waterfall. I'll point the camera down there and show it to you here in a second. This place is absolutely stunning. And we're back at the tent now. We're only about 20 yards away. Maybe not even that, maybe 10 yards away where those rapids were. And right outside my tent is a pool. So I'm gonna pan the camera around and we'll look at that. This tripod doesn't pan well, so bear with. So this is my personal little water closet. Got my own private beach. So I can come down here and take a bath, do whatever. There's fish in that deep spot right there, but they're small. I've only seen a little small one in there. So how good is this? Yeah, for breakfast, my plan was to make bacon and eggs both mornings, today and tomorrow. And I'm gonna end up with just bacon. Problem is, I left my eggs at home. I was so excited to come out here and do this. I've been looking forward to this for so long. I left the house. I didn't bring my eggs, left my eggs at home. I left my big SD card at home. There was something else I forgot. I get out here and I'm like, crap. So that's why I've been swapping footage off the cameras to my phone just so I have room on the smaller SD cards that I do have with me. I don't have my big one. But I did bring this. This is an Ice Mule dry bag cooler. And I guess it's working pretty good because I still got ice in it after 24 hours. That's holding my perishable foods, meats and things like that are in there. You know, my dry food is in another bag. But all this fit on the bike. I'll have to go through the footage that's no good and see if I can get a shot of the bike fully loaded, that you guys will see it again when I pack up and leave. So I am gonna have bacon for breakfast. Apparently I've burnt the hell out of this jacket around campfires. I've got little feathers sticking out of it and all over the place. So the old purple jacket might be heading for the bin. And I've been using the water can off the Himalayan. That works. Like I said, I've implemented about everything I've got on this trip. And so far, I've really been pleased with everything. I don't think I've had anything that really let me down or failed me at all, except for that microphone cable, and that was my fault. I've got the other cable in the bag, and I didn't think to swap them out until later. I was like, oh, duh. And it's a matter of the connections, because cell phones use the TRRS connection where cameras use a TRS connection. And I didn't think to swap the cables. So that was that. Bunch of crap. So I guess I'm gonna cook some breakfast and let the sun come up a little more, and we'll go exploring. Alright, so I've geared up a little bit, and we're going to take a ride on the bike and go up and down the road and check the rest of it out. So we'll see how this turns out. Got the 360 camera mounted so we can get some good views, hopefully, not just what you see on this. And hopefully this new microphone placement works well. I'm trying a different spot, so we'll see if that sounds better. Alright, so I've pulled out of the national forest and I'm down here. This is the Piney River. This is the river I'm camping next to, and it just keeps getting bigger the farther this way you come. That road over there is the one that takes you to the Shoe Creek Trail. It goes behind me, loops around, and goes back up that way. So we're going to ride from here to my campsite, and I'm going to turn on the 360 camera. Alright, so hopefully between this camera and that camera we get some good views, and hopefully my audio's good. I moved the microphone, so we'll see if that works any better. It was probably a little too close to my mouth before, so we'll see if this works any better. So there is the river. You can see it gets a lot bigger the farther we go. There's more and more little springs feed into it, and I assume the fishing is better down here, bigger fish. 'Cause I'm way up at the other end where it starts, so there's nowhere for fish to come from upstream. So down here they just keep, I assume they just keep migrating their way this way. So there's somebody fishing there. So I assume the fishing's better down here. But I don't know, I'm not a great fisherman. So I'm going to have to watch the road, basically, because it is fairly rocky and rough and loose. And hopefully the 360 camera will be able to rotate around and see everything that I can't turn my head and point at. Got a little canyon to go through here. A little cut. Yeah, they're just awesome views here. More campsites and stuff down here. Honestly, I probably should have camped here. That would have been great. Look at that. Yeah, this is a really pretty place. Like I said, it gives you the sensation that you're down in a canyon. That's a cool little camp spot there. I'm kind of on an island out there. But I'd have to park the bike somewhere and carry everything back to the campsite. There's more people fishing. Yeah, it's a pretty popular fishing destination, apparently. And this is a weekday, so I'm surprised there's so many people out here. But then again, I'm out here on a weekday too, so. More people fishing. Oh, big rock right in the middle of the trail. Looking at the views and didn't see that rock. Yeah, part of this on my right is going to turn into private property. Look at this spring right here. So we've just got those coming down the mountain that just feed into this river. Only go to my campsite. We'll stop there and we'll film the rest of it on the way out tomorrow when I get up. So we'll tour the first half today, the second half tomorrow. Yes, here we got no trespassing signs. So right here is where we got private property on my right and left, actually. So weird that there's private property in a national forest. It's a nice cabin over there, though. Oh, I remembered the other thing it was that I forgot to bring. So I forgot to bring, what, eggs, a microphone adapter for my phone, and insect repellent. I didn't bring no insect repellent. I guess I've been camping too much in the cold. Don't have to worry about bugs in the cold. And suddenly I'm bombarded by mosquitoes. Yeah, this is just a gorgeous place. Another little spring heading down towards the river. Did I mention that it's really pretty up here? I might not have. Yeah, this is probably one of my favorite destinations in the area now. I really, really like this. And when I went for that ride on the monkey and got kind of snafu'd on that trail, I was trying to find a way to link this with Shoe Creek and make a loop out of it. For when people want to come out here and go riding, I can show them a loop instead of doing out and backs. So I wanted to include this in the loop. So I have to do some more exploring, see what I can come up with. Because right now it's just a series of out and backs. And backtracking's no fun. It's always nice to get through to a destination as opposed to just going out, turning around, and coming back. I think that's one of the things that saps the fun out of Shoe Creek. More little springs to the left. This is a campsite here. I saw this one, but there's no way to get down to the river easily, so I didn't take that one. I passed it, which like a lot of other people did too. Yeah, it's hard to keep your eyes on the road, just looking at everything to your right. Look at that. Yeah, I'm surprised I'd never heard of this. And it's clearly not a secret destination because there's all kinds of people out here. And all kinds of rocks in the middle of the road. Yeah, the road's only a few miles long, but what a gem. And this isn't a difficult ride. It is rocky. There is some, loose gravel mixed with large rocks sticking up out of the ground. But pretty much any adventure bike can make this. It's not nearly as techy as like the Shoe Creek Trail. This is more of a rough gravel road. So yesterday fishing, I was having a good time. I was just walking down the creek, finding these little pools, just casting into the pools, see if I caught anything. Oh look, beware of fallen rock. I'd move it, but I don't want to show off. My awesome strength and my physique of a Norse god. So this is just gorgeous. This is the kind of place I would like to live. If I bought property, it would be somewhere like this and just have a little cabin out here. I wouldn't want to buy a place in town. The more secluded, the better for me. And my wife is like totally the opposite. And here's my camp. So we'll pull in here, park this again, and tomorrow we will head up even further, and you guys get to see what it's like further up that way as we get out of here. So we have to go up over mountains and things to get out of here. Some big switchbacks. It's pretty cool. So to be continued. You guys are probably wondering why I'm hanging out in here all the time, not out there. Actually, I am out there a lot. So I just keep coming back in here for a nice place to cool down, sit out, get out of the wind or out of the sun. Nice breeze blowing through here. I like this awning setup. I didn't think I would like it, so I didn't order the actual awning kit. Those are just some poles I had in the shed, and they worked. They don't work well. I probably will order the awning kit. So I'll probably get the awning kit, the footprint for this section, then I'll keep this tarp for this section. And then I need a waterproof stuff sack to put it in, because the stuff sack it comes with is pretty awful. And I'm trying not to film a whole lot outside because it's very windy out there actually. So in here I can kind of get away from the wind and talk and things like that. Winding down my last day at the campsite. Haven't caught any more fish. I just had a strike on one out there. Guess they don't like my lure I got. It's the only one I got, so I can't change it. Pretty good sized one. Struck at it, but he didn't commit. Then I couldn't get him lured back out again. Like I said, I'm going to have to up my fishing game a little bit, I think. You guys will have to help me on that one, because I don't know jack about fishing. I was looking at that M-rod pole, because I got to have something small enough to fit in the pannier on the bike. So that might be good. Because this one I got, it's like, it's not quite a little kid's pole, but it's a tiny pole. And it's not rated for like heavier line and things like that. I need something, more manly. A little more pro than that. So I'll piece something together. Almost time for dinner. Score. Oh yeah, how's that looking? Got hot coals, roasting a rotisserie chicken. Uncle Voodoo's gonna eat good tonight. Oh yeah, baby, hot chicken coming in. Oh, look at that bad boy. That's all right there. Well, it's been an enjoyable 2 days. Too bad I didn't get the audio sorted on day one. Got a tiny little bit of footage. I'm not sure how I'm going to edit it in here and make it work. Sun's getting ready to go down over the mountain. Fire's going out, just letting it burn down. I figured before all the light goes away though, we'll go down and get one more look at my little private waterfall. And then tomorrow we'll get up and pack her in. I'm sure we'll shoot some more tonight in the tent once it's dark. Kick on the lights and talk about something. Let's go down here and check this water out. Well, this is where the little fish live, little suckers. I kept trying to get them to bite and they wouldn't bite on my hook. I promised to throw them back in, they still didn't want nothing to do with me. I don't think they like me very well. Just look at that. That is just absolutely sublime. I wish I could put my tent like right here so I'd have this view all the time. But it's back to reality tomorrow. We'll get everything packed up in the morning. I'm not going to mess with packing anything tonight. Do it all in the morning, load the bike up, and we'll ride out of here. We'll check out the other half of the road and get up the mountain. And I'll see you guys then. Or no, actually I'll see you guys in a little bit, because we're going to shoot some more in the tent later. Well, all right, it is dark proper out here now. Give me a chance to test out these new lights I bought. When me and Think Mud went camping the last time, we were like kicking on flashlights trying to light ourselves up and filming, because I'd never really even thought about filming in the dark before. That was the first time it had even crossed my mind. So I seen how that worked, and it looked good for what it was, but I wanted a little better, so I went out and bought these little mini panel lights so I can light the whole place up, and the action doesn't have to stop when it gets dark now. So that's a good thing. I'll pack her up in the morning and get out of here. I was looking at my GPS because I'm still trying to find a loop that people can go do. And I think I found a way to loop this in to over where Enchanted Creek is. That'll be pretty nice if I can make this loop work, because it's all mainly gravel and fairly easy. You know, it's not anything really technical or gnarly or anything like that. But Shoe Creek branches off of this road, and so does Greasy Springs, which is the name of the road where I took the monkey and ran into gnarly trail. So if people want to get froggy, we've got those two offshoots plus Enchanted Creek, which will be open in 4 months. It's open from August till January. So that's 3 offshoots that we can do off of that loop. I think it'll work really well. I'd like to go check it out in the morning, but I know my wife's going to be worried about me, so I need to get home not as quickly as possible, but when I said I was going to be home, I need to go ahead and do that. If I do the loop, it'll take me a lot longer, and I don't want her to worry too much. So I might save the whole loop for another day, maybe get some other people that have been wanting to ride with me, and we'll take them and do this loop and see how it works out. So I'm going to batten down the hatches and call it a night. Get up bright and early in the morning, start tearing it all down. So ends my little adventure out in the woods by myself in unfamiliar territory. And I got to go fishing. Probably wish I'd shut up about that. Well, I'll see you guys in the morning. Good night. Morning, everybody. Our last morning at camp. What time is it? 6:25. Sky's starting to lighten up a little bit. Still pretty dark. I'll start packing up once the sun comes up enough that I can see without artificial lighting. It was a good trip. I like this. A little brisk this morning. They said it gets down to about 40 or so Fahrenheit in the evening. Start putting everything away. Tell you what, that little ice mule cooler, I was impressed with that thing, because it's been well over 48 hours since I bought the ice and put it in that bag. And that bag's still got ice in it. It's iced water, but it's still ice, nonetheless. Alright. Well, let's let the sun come up and we'll get to it. Well, it's time to say goodbye to our awesome little camp spot. Get back to the world. Another new piece of gear that I brought out this time is this Ice Mule cooler. And what it is, it's a roll top bag. It's a dry bag that's insulated. And it's a cooler. You just fill it full of ice. It's got a little air bleed valve here. So you can put like a layer of air in between the insulation and the outer portion of the bag. It creates another layer of insulation. I put ice in this thing over 48 hours ago. And it's time to dump it out. But it's still got ice in it. Ice water, but still ice. So this has been pretty impressive. They're kind of expensive. This was about $80. And I was looking at some that were about half price. And I figured I'd bite the bullet and buy the good one. And I don't know if the cheaper ones would have held ice this long. This one did it. So thumbs up. Well, it is that time. Everything's packed up and ready to roll, so it's time to say goodbye to our little campsite. It's been a gorgeous little place. Had a few cars go by. Other than that, pretty secluded. Nobody stopped and bothered me or anything. Just gorgeous out here. I love this place. Fantastic. Let's go look at the bike and see how it's packed up. So we've got all our camp furniture, fishing pole and tripod strapped down over here. Main bag in the center. Got the tent over there on that side. Let's walk around it. That's what she all looks like, or what it all looks like. Still got to put on the camera bag. And that's the only real issue I have. As you can see, the rider compartment, you got room. You could actually lean back against your bags if you needed to. But I'm going to be wearing that, so that makes that kind of cramped for me. That's not something everybody will face, but it's something I have to deal with filming. So let's get fired up and roll out. All right, so we are leaving our camp spot. Gonna miss it. Might have to come back for definite sure. And if I don't get much POV footage on the way out of here, it's because the temperature messes with these batteries. I believe that's what's causing the problem. The GoPro did it as well. So I think that's what's locking the camera up and making for, oh, look at that. Corrupted files. Nice little spot there. Couldn't park the bike right down there though. I'd had to leave the bike up here and walk down. A lot of little camping spots out here. And it's free. All these little waterfalls are just gorgeous. Because we're heading up the mountain now, so the elevation change just makes for waterfall after waterfall after waterfall. This stream becomes a river, just cascades its way down the mountain. A lot of deadfall laying around, but that made it easy to find firewood. Big old birdie. Oh, look at that one. stop here and take a look at this one. Like I said, this place is just absolutely gorgeous. That probably would have been a good fishing hole right there. Should have walked up this way. Just very picturesque and gorgeous. Oh, look at that. See, there's a spring from up there feeding down, going under the road, teaming up with that to make the stream bigger. They said all these springs just keep feeding into it until it becomes a big river. Yeah, I'll have to try to put together some kind of like group trip. Get some more people involved, get them to come out here. I've got to go explore that other part of my loop. Like I said, it looks like on the map I can connect all these roads together. But it also looked like that when I took the monkey out too. And that didn't work out. So I'll have to go exploring and make sure. Here's the little bridge. I thought about taking this camp spot here, but it just didn't look good enough. I was being picky. I just didn't like the ground for where the tent was going to set up. Too many jagged rocks, not enough smooth ground. Yeah, I've got to keep my eye on the road. See, there's another spring there. It's going to hook up with that. So it's just springs and stuff all the way down. Yeah, I've got to try to keep watching the road instead of watching the scenery, because it's distracting. Somebody else camping? Like I said, I thought about, when I was planning, I was thinking about using that spot there, but it was already taken. And there was another one down further, and it was taken as well. See if there's still people there. We'll have to do some big switchbacks climbing out of here. Rocky corner. Yeah, handling the bike's a different ball game when you've got it completely loaded down and wearing a big backpack on top of everything else. Yeah, the first switchback up here, there's some like rental cabins, and the name of the switchback, I believe, is actually called Bigfoot, which is kind of funny. Didn't see any Bigfoots out here this time. I'm sure there was some creeping around that I didn't get to see. More campers. Yeah, the other spot I was thinking about was up here. There was somebody in it. There was plenty of room for another tent and everything, but I didn't want to impose on anyone. And it looks like they're gone. This spot right here, I was considering taking this. That's just a big area, pretty flat. It's open now, it's too late. There's another spot down there. I was worried about getting the bike all the way in because it's kind of you're supposed to park and like carry your stuff to that one. I thought the bike would be just too far away from camp. I didn't want to leave it all by itself. Alright, so this is Bigfoot right here. I guess it's kind of shaped like a foot. And I believe these are rental cabins. Gotta slow through here. I assume the people you rent from live back there. They look well maintained. They look almost like model homes, unlived in. This is the first of the switchbacks when we start climbing. Climbing for real. And I'm just going to go slow. When we get to the top, I'm going to stop and check all my gear, make sure everything's still secured. We just tractor our way up. You can see the elevation change already. We were way down there. Climbing up in the mountains. Like I said, it almost feels like a canyon because it's so steep on each side of you. And there's almost no worry about animals down there because it is so steep that the terrain just kind of prevents anything from walking around unless it goes down the road. Which is funny because on the way out here there was a cow standing in the middle of the road a few miles back the way we're going. It's the middle of nowhere, just a cow standing in the middle of the road. And I had it on video, but the file was corrupted. I highly doubt he's still there. We'll do this little S-bend here, and then we're going to hit another switchback. Climb me some more. So you can see it here. That's where we were just at. Now we're climbing this. So it's pretty quick to climb. I'll pull over to the side here so you can look down there. See how quickly the elevation changes. Get over here in case the car is coming.